Hello and welcome guys, Leon Street here, and in this video, first of all, I'm going to take a drink of water. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to generate more leads and turn them into clients fast. Plus, mostly, I want to use this as a question and answers opportunity. And if you didn't know already, I've got a challenge coming up, and I thought, you know what, the best way for me to give you guys some insights into what the challenge is going to be like, what it's going to be about, is to break down, I guess, some of the key areas of marketing and what you need to understand. Now, I guess for the best part of 7 years, I've focused on generating leads. And for me, lead generation is such a big topic and a huge topic because I know so many people struggle with, generating leads. And in those 7 years where I've really focused on lead generation, I've been able to nail how to get leads. Even recently, I launched a brand new coaching Facebook group because had a couple of other groups and they were targeting a slightly different niche. And I wanted to come fresh and just really invigorate some new energy into it. And in our new coaching group, we're a fledgling group, but we're already attracting over 100 new members to the group just organically each month. We're also pumping some paid ads into that process as well, and that's adding a nice top up to that. But the point I want to get to is if you can generate leads in your business, it becomes almost, it's the word I'm looking for, it becomes its own autonomous marketing machine, because lead generation is probably one of the biggest challenges that most people face. And I know this because literally the people who are joining our group and the people that I'm speaking to on a weekly basis, coaches, like business coaches, life coaches, career performance, leadership coaches, that's probably one of the biggest or the most common things that people say that is a challenge in their business and that they want help with. So generating leads for me it's the biggest thing that I guess most people are looking to improve in their business. And I'll tell you where the kind of crux of it comes from. And I'm going to go into this in a little bit more in a moment, what I've just put on screen. But the crux of it comes from, there's a lot of people out there, and we're seeing other, experts, we're seeing other successful business owners out there who are generating, the 10K, 20K, 30K a month, 50K, 100K. Oh, I've just done $1 million this month, cash collected, that kind of stuff. We see these numbers, and unfortunately, it triggers us as human beings. And the reason being, and I'm going to dive into this just a little bit because I'm listening to a new audio book that I've got playing in my car right now. And it comes because we move into this place so effortlessly as human beings when it comes to psychology, into comparison, the thief of joy, as it goes. Now, comparison comes in the form of, oh, I can see those people, what numbers they're generating. I'm happy for those people. But you automatically start to look at yourself and think, wow, that's cool. I'm really happy for them. And that's if you are a real kind of non-envious type of person. Like me, it's cool to support and show your respects where you can to, your peers and the people around you who are doing well. Because I think if you show up as somebody who's negative, I think that kind of negative energy rubs off on you. So anyway, so you might still be positive. However, when you look at those people and you look at your current circumstances, if you're not where you want to be in terms of your monthly revenue, your monthly income, the challenge with that is that you're unconsciously moving into comparison, which kind of steals your joy, and it kind of draws away some of the positivity of who you are and how you are in your business. It's just a natural human thing. And depending on what you do to kind of clear your mind and think about your thoughts, you don't have full control on that. Like I said, most of it goes or happens to us unconsciously, right? They say the unconscious mind controls 95% of who we are and how we operate. And the way that you kind of change that is through different techniques of mindfulness, meditation. It could be listening to music, sports, all these different things that allow you to stop clouding your head and filling your head with all the BS that we go through every day, right? All the bullshit. And so I think for me, the key in being able to be successful in growing your business, it's encompassed in a lot of things to do with, yes, we can see other people being a success, but we've got to get very clear on what does that mean to us in order to be able to have a coaching or consulting business that can generate leads. predictably every day, every week, get people onto booked sales calls, convert those people into clients. And for me, it really is about kind of combining everything together. And I'm going to break that down for you now. Before I do that, I just want to make sure you guys are aware. Remember, this coming Monday, we've got our More Leads Challenge coming up. You can see the web address just on the bottom of the screen as well. And I suggest if you're a coach or consultant, you want to be generating anything from 10 upwards to like literally 100K a month, this challenge is for you. Yeah. We're going to take you through for 5 days from the 17th to the 21st of January. And we're going to allow you to spend either 1 or 2 hours with us, depending on which ticket you purchase when you go to the web address you see on the bottom of your screen. And we're going to show you how to generate leads. And if you got any questions, first, just go to this web address, the web address you see on the bottom of the screen, go there, opt in, get some details, and you'll see what's in store for you on this 5-day challenge. And look, I'm just going to frame it up, guys. This is not a free challenge, guys. I don't like to attract people who just constantly go for freebies. I like people who have just a little bit of skin in the game, little bit. Like literally, we're going to be breaking down and giving you approximately $2,700 worth of value in the 5 hours that we've got planned for the challenge. If you choose the VIP option, that means you'll get to stay, or you'll start, sorry, an hour before the challenge content, where we'll answer your questions and give you coaching around what you're doing in your business to generate leads. But anyway, if you do want to join, which you do, right? That's why you're here watching. And I want you to get more leads. Literally go to moreleads.live, go there, opt in. You'll see the full details on the page, and just go down, click on order and get your ticket. Just secure your ticket, guys. And here's another thing. If you know somebody who would be a good fit to be on the challenge, another coach, another consultant, a peer of yours, a friend of yours, maybe you're in a mastermind with them, and you know they need leads as well. If you get them to buy a ticket, here's my offer to you. You get them to buy a ticket, tell them to forward their purchase ticket receipt to you, and then send me a message on whichever social media platform you're watching me on, if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, and I'll give you 100% of their ticket fee minus the cost, like the transaction cost. So you probably pick up about, I don't know, 95%. Yeah, literally, if you know somebody who should be on this challenge, basically, if you recommend 2 people, you're actually 1 person, or just 1 and a little bit more person, 2 people, you'll more than double your own money back, and you'll get to come to the challenge for free. Yeah, that's only in the next 24 hours, guys. So if you get somebody, you send them this link that you see on the bottom of the screen, you ask them to forward the purchase receipt, just so you got proof, and send that message to me on Facebook Messenger, on LinkedIn Messenger, on Instagram, whichever social media platform you like using. Just send it through to me, and then I can just verify that. And once I've done that, we'll process the money to you in the next 10 days. How about that, right? So anyway, you can join the challenge and you can also make some money. But let me move forward, guys, and just show you what I really want to get into about generating leads and this being a Q&A. So the reason why, I guess for me, generating leads is so important. There's loads of surveys that have been done on this till the cows come home. I just want to share this one. It's one I share quite regularly. It was done by Factworks, and they did this survey for UK small businesses, which also encapsulates coaches and consultants, right? And they said the most important challenges, this is what the survey was. Number 1 was attracting customers, lead generation, right? There was also increasing revenue, which is really, again, in attracting customers, because then you can sell more. And the other one was maintaining profitability. That means probably increasing the profitability in your offers. Yeah. But it all comes back to attracting customers. So, you know, kind of another red light for those of you, especially if you're finding it hard right now. Look, a lot of people find this hard to attract customers. Yeah. And here's another interesting statistic. This is a brand new one. I just want to share this one before I go into the different areas of lead generation. Guys, I want to encourage you right now to ask me your number 1 most important question, and just drop it in a comment, and I will answer it live here in this live. And I'll keep going until you guys stop asking questions. I've got a little bit of content I want to share with you. If you ask questions, I'll just keep going. It's that simple, guys. Don't sit on the live and just think, okay, I'll just listen. Like, if you've literally got a burning question, Leon, how do I attract more high-paying clients? Leon, how do I attract consistent leads every day? How do I attract more qualified leads every day? What systems can I put in place, or what messaging can I put in place? What social media tactics can I put in place? Do I need a funnel? Do I not need a funnel? Do I need a website? Do I not need a website? Like all those things. Literally, if you've got a burning question right now, put it in a comment. Should I be launching a course so I can earn passive income? I can give you some insight into that and whether or not it is actually passive income or if you've still got to do some work. Ask your questions, drop it in a comment now. Anyway, this statistic. So the forecast for total global media ad spending. Yeah, I just want to bring this to your attention. Look, this was 2020, $651 billion. 2021, $780 billion. This is 2022. This is the forecast for this year, $866 billion. The trend doesn't change. So why am I showing you this? Guys, there is still money being spent on ads and it will continue to increase. And, you know, the key here is to pay attention to this. At some point, you're going to have to be part of this number, right? And the only way you're going to get there is if you're starting to generate leads and then you get yourself in a position where you got enough cash to start spending on leads and spending on advertising and then attracting even more and using the cash that you generate when you get to your 10, your 20, your 30, your 50 to create leverage so you can then double up, yeah, triple up perhaps. And it's not going to happen overnight, by the way. Yeah, this is where I guess the marketing strategy comes into play, the evolving of your numbers and the refining and just taking things to the next level type of thing. But I just want to show you that advertising is here to stay, and it always has been, guys. So let's have a look at some of the things that I hear, like literally on a daily basis from coaches. And like I say, like I see this because we get lots of people who, when they join our group, we ask 3 questions. And one of them is, what's your number 1 challenge that you'd like assistance with? And quite often people say more qualified leads. Spoke to a couple of prospects today, and one in particular just comes to mind. When I was speaking to them in my DMs before the call was booked, and they were speaking to one of my VAs, the thing was, I want more qualified leads. So I thought, you know what, let me just speak about this. And I've got a question here, comment. What are the key components of content that converts? That's a great question. And I don't want to butcher your name because I don't know how to pronounce it. So you're going to have to send me a voice note and say, Leon, this is how you pronounce my name. So you need to, and I'm going to pronounce it in 2 ways. And so if I get it right one of the ways, well, at least I got 50% there. So it's either Aisha or it's Ishia. Yeah. And I believe it's Aisha, but you can tell me if I've got it totally wrong. Send me a message and say, hey, Leon, this is how you pronounce my name, because I've spotted you a couple of times and I really appreciate you joining me on these lives. So anyway, let me get into this. I'm going to answer your question first. What are the key components of content that converts? So the key components of content that converts, it's very simple. Content that converts gives the reader or the viewer, or let's just call them the audience, yeah, your niche. It gives them the, I guess, the perception, because that's what marketing is, persuasion, right? It gives them the perception that they are going to gain, yeah? Meaning, when I read your content, I am given the indication that the desire or the want that I have will be delivered or will be made possible, and I will be able to also get over the frustration that I'm experiencing. And the content that converts the best is what I've just mentioned there. So the desire that the person wants to achieve, and then the frustration that is related to that desire. Usually the frustration is, you know, where they are right now, being stuck, and they really want to get to that desire. But your content should show that the desire is possible. The frustration as well that's holding them back can be overcome. But more importantly, there's a couple of things. You add some specificity, meaning that, and it can be done in a certain amount of time, i.e. a day, a week, a month, a year, whatever the time it takes to accomplish that desire. And the key is to add a call to action. And that's the simple form. There are different lengths of ways that you can create content to, I guess, convert an audience, your niche, into leads, and then convert leads into prospects. But the point I want to get to is that it just comes with those key components. And I guess with marketing, you can have a very simple piece of content that converts, and you can have more in-depth, intricate, psychological, taking the person on a journey of truly empathizing with them, bringing the pain up that that person is experiencing in a way that makes the person really become aware of the shit situation or the poor situation that they're in right now, or the situation where they don't want to be specifically, and make that person feel like, you know what, I really don't like this. And so as the content is revealed, whether it's a video, whether it's a text post, as the content is revealed more, the person really becomes agitated, like, yeah, this is me and I really don't like it. And your content moves the person from pain to, but you know what, there's a new way, there's a discovery. And when you're able to articulate yourself in either long form copy or videos in that way, and you bring a person on a journey, what you start to understand is that the psychology of all of this, and this kind of all of this kind of wraps and it floats between the lines of the hero's journey from Joseph Campbell, great copywriters. Just trying to think of a few, like Gary Benzavenga. You've got Dan Kennedy, you've got Gary Halbert, even Frank Kern, who refers to and uses a lot of their stuff because he was trained by those guys, you know, the original Godfathers of copy. You got people like Eugene Schwartz. And what you start to understand is that content that converts really is about bringing a person on a psychological journey through story. And you can either do it in short form or you can do it in longer form. Yeah. And that's the key that I want to get to. And once you move a person from pain, you kind of dig deeper into the pain, show them there's a new way out of the pain, a new solution. And then you kind of use social proof in your copy or in your videos to prove to people that, hey, what I'm saying is real and other people have experienced that result. You inject things like guarantees, you then inject your call to action. Like, that's just a broad framework. And I guess if you guys, you know, you really wanted to get the answers to this, look, most of you know I published this book. I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit here. More Leads, More Clients. So I published this book. It's about 3 years ago now. And I based it on principles of marketing because I didn't want it to age fast. You know, there's some books that, hey, how to be a success on Facebook, you know, in 2022, and then after 2022 the book's dead. This one is More Leads, More Clients, and the way that I put this structure together is, like I said, it's based on principles, so you can just keep on using it. But in particular, what I want to focus on, I just realized this is my daughter's copy. That's quite cute, right? It says, "Dear Renee," and I had a message for her. Somehow it's managed to land on my desk. I need to make sure it goes back in her bedroom. But the point I wanted to get to, guys, is the question is coming back to what Aisha asked me about, is what are the key components of content that converts? Guys, if you've got a question about lead generation, now's your time to put it in the comment. I'm going to answer it easily. Yeah. No question is too big for me to answer right now. But here is the point that I wanted to get you onto. It is chapter, and if I can find the correct one, because it's on copywriting. Here it is. So I'll just make sure I give you the right one. So we got copy, direct marketing. Here it is, page 71, sales letters. Yeah. So in the book, this book, More Leads, More Clients, it's available on Amazon globally. So in the book, I talk about sales letters, and this is just to answer this question in full. And in particular, I give you a breakdown of how to create, you know, marketing content through a story structure. But in particular, what I wanted to get to is the sales letter structure, because really sales letter structure is almost like messaging that converts, content that converts. And a lot of people kind of just miss it. You could have an attention grabbing headline that is the key thing and the reason why whatever you have that follows that converts. That's step one when you put a sales letter together. Step two is having a subheadline. Step three is going into the problem or the need. Like I said, agitate the problem so you can dig deeper, get more into the emotions of what's going on. Step five is the solution. Step six is making sure that you have injected emotions. Step seven is credentials, i.e. who you are and why you're the person to be talking about this stuff. Step 8 is social proof, so testimonials. Step 9 is ownership, future pacing people into owning the solution that you're talking about. Step 10 is guarantee. Step 11 is USP, meaning your number one top benefit for the thing that you're talking about, the solution. There should be internal repetition. And I'm talking about kind of longer form copy and videos. And then action, call to action. Yeah. Now, that's a more structured approach to content that you could put together. It could either be like a long form post, aka a sales letter. It could be a sales letter. What I want to do now is literally just share my screen with you briefly and give you a quick example of, well, how can you do it without all of that jazz, right? So where are we? Let me go over to here, Facebook, and I'm just going to go to my page. You can create content that converts by creating a testimonial. Look, here's a testimonial on my personal profile on Facebook. I also shared it on LinkedIn and Instagram and a couple of other places. Let me just scroll down. Here's a live that I did the other day. This is content that converts, and it's because I understand the structure of what I need to put out to people to help them with the problem they have. Show them value, give them value, show them proof, and then add a call to action. So that's another piece of content that converts. And here is, if I keep going down, look, here's another short form post. Look, like this is, I don't even know how many characters this is, but it's like literally 4 lines, let's say, of content. And this is what I call a hand raising post. And you can see, look, I attracted over 110 different leads. So this is another example. However, it's very short of content that converts. Now I want to come back to the point of, why I've just shared that with you. So I'm just going to stop sharing, stop screen. So the point I want to get to is that you've got to understand what your niche want. Yeah. Not necessarily what they need, because what they need is different from what they want. What most people want is the very thing that will get you into an initial conversation. What they need is what you actually sell them as your service, because you know that that's the thing that's going to help them to have the transformation that they're looking for, i.e. get over the problem that they're currently experiencing. And so in a nutshell, for me, it's just understanding what your niche want, giving the suggestion or giving the idea or the perception, or showing them, demonstrating that you can help them attain that. And if you can add a fixed time frame to it, it's really cool because it becomes more believable. And then simply asking if people want it. Yeah, call to action. So hopefully that makes sense. And I do believe I'm going to go with the name Aisha just to make sure I've got it right. So hopefully that gives you an idea. So I'm going to move into a couple more that I've put in today, more qualified leads. The way you can, before I go into the next one, the way you can qualify leads is you can qualify in your content. For instance, I put out a message mostly for coaches who want to hit 10K per month. We have another offer or another message that I put out for coaches who want to go from 10 to 30K because they're already at 10 type of thing. The way you can qualify your leads is to start focusing more on what are the key qualifying criteria of the kind of person or the kind of niche that you want to attract in. So your perfect future client. The more your messaging speaks from that perspective, the more you'll qualify or end up qualifying the right people in. And there's also, when you speak to people in DMs, especially I'm talking about social media mostly, or in your inbox, if you've got a page or using chatbots, all that kind of stuff, is you've got to ask qualifying questions. Yeah, that's how you get more qualified leads. But if your content really comes from the perspective of who you want to attract in, it will disqualify the people who either don't fit that criteria or they just don't make the mark, meaning perhaps it's around income, perhaps it's around current situation, current circumstance, around the problem that they've got. There's a whole raft of different things that you can qualify around, but that's how you attract qualified leads. And your qualified lead might be different to another person's qualified lead. So it really does boil down to what is it that, or what is the criteria that qualifies a person to the level that you want to make sure that you end up working with the best type of clients for you. Yeah, A-grade clients. How do you generate 10K per month? Very simple. I'm going to give you some really quick, simple maths. If you can attract in, X number of leads, that will give you a certain number of clients. And if we keep the maths very simple, imagine you're a coach and you charge like, say $3,000 or £3,000 or €3,000 for like a 10-week program that you offer. Well, the reality is, in order to get to $10,000, you're going to have to sell at least 3 of those. If you do the maths, it's like $9,000. So let's say that your program is $3,500. So you're going to earn $10,500 from 3 clients. In order to get those 3 clients, you're going to have had to close a number of prospects. And let's say the going rate in the coaching industry for just an average coach who has sold stuff and can sell is like 1 in 5. So every time you speak to 5 qualified prospects, you close 1 in 5. So in order to get to 10K per month, you're going to have to speak to 15 qualified prospects. But in order to get to 15 qualified prospects, you will have probably had to speak to somewhere in the region of about 100 to 200 qualified leads. Yeah. And this is where most people, they kind of fall apart because they don't understand the maths. They think just because I've attracted 3 leads, one of those or all 3 of those are going to be clients. Now, this does happen from time to time, but it's more kind of once in a blue moon. And the point that I want to get to is that if you want to get to your kind of 10K per month, then you've got to be prepared to work your numbers so that you can understand what the numbers are for you in your business. So for instance, perhaps you only need to attract in 50 leads because your messaging scripts, for instance, once a person says yes, and you give them the lead magnet, the thing that they've actually said yes about, so you've got them to raise their hand type of thing, and then they move down the chain to, oh, they're in your DMs now. Perhaps you only need to have 50 conversations that get you to the point where you can end up with 3 sales that will get you to 10K a month. Now, every business is slightly different. And the reason why every business is different is because of the systems, the scripts, the type of messaging you put out. And you will only know these numbers the more you work the system of being able to generate leads, speak to leads in your DMs, get your offer in front of people, and understand how many people want that offer that will then book in a call with you. And the more you start to know the numbers, like how many people convert at each stage, this is how you start to figure out from a numbers point of view what you need to do and what it's going to take for you to grow. And I say this from a 10K perspective because most people want to hit this. Most people want to hit 10K per month. Why? It's 6 figures. There was this survey done, and I've used it on one of my lives, probably, I think it's about 3 months ago, actually. And there was this survey done by a famous university in America. And what they found is once a person earns, and the number is $75,000 a year, you're no more happier if you're earning 1 million or 10 million or 100 million, in the sense of there's not much more difference to how your lifestyle is, meaning you don't have to worry or stress about money. That's the key thing, right? And so when people are talking about 10K a month and 6 figures, there's actually some validity behind it in the sense of the psychology around this figure. And obviously with what's the word I'm looking for? Inflation, I do believe that number's probably gone up from 75K to probably somewhere near 100K now. I do have that data. So if anybody of you is interested in that survey, I can find the information out for you on a past presentation. But the point I want to get to is you don't want to just go into this game as a cultural consultant and just think you're going to hit 10K. Yeah. Because I want to kind of flip it on its head now. There is the dark side of being a business owner. And you all know what I'm talking about when I say the dark side. But you're probably wondering, what am I talking about? But I'm going to share it with you. The dark side of, yeah, exactly. I've got somebody who's commented, said happiness doesn't increase by much past the 100K income. Exactly. That was related to the survey that I found. I just can't remember the name of the university who conducted the survey, but I do have it saved in a presentation somewhere. But anyway, that's for another time. I'll get that data back up. But the point I want to get to is the dark side. The dark side of a business is when you're not hitting 10K or you're below, or you're stagnant. Let's say you've been at 10K for some time and you kind of drop down, you come back up and you're not really getting to 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on and so forth. The dark side of running your coaching business and basically not generating leads, because that's what today's live is all about, is the psychological dark side, is the mindset, is how you deal with not living up to who you know you could be, your potential. And right now I'm listening to an audiobook. It's called, and I just want to make sure I get it right. It's called The Gap and the Gain. And it is by, I'm just going to share this with you guys. And I've got literally got hundreds of books that I listen to. Yeah, Gap in the Game by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. You know what? I've got to give them props. Dr. Benjamin Hardy shares in the book actually that he's read over 1,000 books. I thought I was pretty cool. I thought I've read about 200, and I thought, you know, I've got to get my ass in here, man. 1,000 books, like sheesh. Anyway, the dark side of business. You see, for me, the dark side of business is when things aren't going well. Like everybody goes through challenges, except everybody goes through them in different ways. Yeah, some people can get over things quickly. Some people fall into depression, anxiety. Some people fall into, I guess, a false sense of, you know, it's going to be all right, delusion. Yeah, and this is the trouble with not being able to generate these types of numbers, because you lose confidence. You don't make decisions that are filled with confidence that actually help you grow. You make decisions based on playing safe, protecting yourself, and not really going for what you need to do. So the point I want to get to, and the little bit I wanted to share about this, is that generating this kind of money is great, and having an aspiration to go beyond it is even better, right? But the real crux of all of this is that you've actually got to make this happen. You know, it's no good just talking about these numbers constantly. And here's the thing that I want to share with you. If you're not generating these kind of numbers, or if you have and you can't get back to them, or you can't keep it consistent, you need help. And this is one of the things as a business owner, coach, a consultant, that you do need to get into the rhythm of asking for help. And it doesn't mean that you go into groups and like, hey, everybody, can you give me your 2 cents on this? What I'm talking about is finding a cultural mentor, like getting serious, you know, finding somebody who can give you help. You're not listening to 1,000 or 100 different people giving you their expert opinion and not knowing really what to implement. You need to get a coach, right? You know, the most successful sports people, movie stars, actresses, actors, business owners out there, they all have coaches or mentors. And I just wanted to share this part with you because, you know, there's been times, a couple of times throughout my career since 2008, since I had my first business coach, where I've not had a coach, right? And, you know, those years, like as the years went on, that stopped happening. And I had a coach and I had a coach and I had another coach. But the point I want to get to is that sometimes if you fall out of the rhythm of that, of having that support, having that accountability, and you are floating around this number, then that can be a challenge for you. And that challenge can turn into months and years. And all I want to say is that if you're experiencing that right now, do yourself a favor and get yourself onto this challenge. You can see the link on the screen. Yeah, moreleads.live. Go there and invest 5 hours, literally 1 hour a day, with me and my wife who are running this challenge, to save yourself a whole lot of stress and give yourself next week the energy to kickstart your business in 2022 in the right way. I'm not just saying that, guys, like literally give yourself the focus. And at the end of the week, I guarantee you, you'll have a plan and an outlook of what you can do in Q1 of 2022 to move your business beyond this, right? So anyway, I'm going to move on to the next point I wanted to talk about. Guys, if you do have any questions, now's your time to ask. I'm really interested in what do you want to ask me about generating leads, growing your business as a coach, as a consultant. What questions have you got around marketing? Look, here's another one. How to remove overwhelm. I get this question asked a lot, like, Leon, how do I remove overwhelm? I'm not sure where to start. I'm not sure where to put my energy. I'm not sure where to focus. Focus on results generating activity. What can get you a lead? What can get you a prospect? And what can get you a client? Yeah. So for instance, if somebody says to you, oh, you need to have a funnel, and if you have a funnel, you'll be able to get a lead and you'll be able to get this. No, you don't. Yeah. In order to get a lead, you just need to be able to trigger people with a message. About 10 minutes ago, I think I showed you a message on my personal profile that generated over 110 leads. Like, I use those quite a lot. They're called hand-raising posts. Yeah. I hardly ever send people to my website these days. The only time I send people to my website is to go to literally an opt-in page. And the opt-in pages that I use are all linked to different lead magnets that are usually related to a desired outcome or a frustration that my niche want to overcome. That's it. Yeah. I don't even send people to my homepage anymore. You know what? I actually need to update my homepage, but that just shows you how non-essential it is right now. Like, most people, because of the speed of social media, most people just want to connect with you on social media, get into your DMs, because it's so easier and faster than ever before just to speak directly to the person who you've come across that you like the sound of, that you want the help of. Yeah. And so, for instance, if people come across my book, it's easy for them just to find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever, slide into my DMs and say, hey, Leon, what can you tell me about XYZ, rather than going to the website and blah, blah, blah. So to remove overwhelm, simplify is the point that I want to get to. Simplify things down. Like, I'm telling you, you can attract and build a 6-figure business without a website. Yeah, it's not even essential these days. When I send people or show people the offer of the programs that I run, I don't even send them to a sales page anymore. Like, I don't even do that. We've put our challenge on a web page just to make it easy because of logistics and the amount of traffic we're sending to it. But like, to build a 6-figure business, you don't even need a website. To give you guys a quick example of how you can build that 6-figure business and remove overwhelm, yeah, you focus on a niche. Everybody's heard this, right? Focus on a niche, get clear on who they are and what problem they have that you can help them to fix. You then take that information that you've gathered about your niche and you create an offer that relates to the problem that you can help them to fix. And you put that offer into like a PDF or a Google document. Yeah. Then you start putting marketing messages out in places like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Can be videos, can be text messages, and so on. You start attracting leads. And when people want to speak to you, you have a script for your DMs. And most of you know that I give away our free DM script worksheet. Yeah. If you want that, by the way, just comment CBC. That stands for confirm by chat. That's what I call my script, because I get people to confirm by chat that they're interested and they're in. Once a person commits and says that they're in, so they've confirmed, that's when you get a person to book into your booking calendar. That's probably the only piece of technology you need, just so it synchronizes to your iPhone or Google Calendar. And once a person is synchronized to that, that makes your life easy, because then you can check your phone. Oh, okay, that's when I've got a booking. And then it's over to you. You need a sales script, and your sales script is how you onboard a person, and then you get them to pay online using Stripe or another payment processor if you use one. But Stripe's the one that I use. If I get payments throughout Europe or other places, then I use Wise Transfer if I want to use that. But 9 times out of 10, it's Stripe. That's very simple. But how does overwhelm creep in? Overwhelm creeps in when you go beyond the simplicity of what I've just shared with you, when you overthink it, when you can't put yourself in the shoes of your niche and come up with messaging that speaks directly to them. Overwhelm creeps in when you overthink your message and you're like, oh, but I'm not sure if this will work. And you never publish the damn video or the damn text post because you're overthinking whether or not it'll work even before you've tested. Overwhelm creeps in when, instead of publishing 50 to 100 different messages on social media just to figure out if people are even going to respond, you're still stuck at message number 1 and 2. Yeah. Overwhelm creeps in that when you've got a call booked in and it's coming up and you're sweating and you're worried about whether or not you're going to know what to say to the person because you haven't got a script. Or overwhelm creeps in because you haven't got a script for how to manage people in your DMs. So when you speak to them, you come across like a person who's just being pushy and just constantly saying, hey, well, here's my program, there's the price. Yeah, avoiding having a natural conversation that gets the person to ask you for things rather than you having to push and feel like you're just being, a person who's got a product to push, rather than attracting people in who want to find out more. And there's that curiosity and there's that anticipation. So that's the short side of it. Yeah. The key is, if you have structure for each of those elements, what can get you to a client, that's what removes overwhelm. And honestly, less is more when it comes to running a business. And most people think, oh, I've got to have 100 million different things. I've got to have all my wheels spinning and so on. I used to think that. I used to think like you got to have plates spinning in the air and you got to balance them all. Yeah. And the better you are at multitasking, all that kind of shit, like the better results you get. And honestly, it's a big lie. I've been there, fell flat on my face. To remove overwhelm, you need to figure out how you can simplify. However, that doesn't mean you work any less, guys. It means that you still show up, but you just make things simpler. The way you think, the way you approach things, it just becomes easier because you're not adding too much complication to what you're doing. Yeah, you understand it. You can delegate it to your team. You can get some VAs or just hire people from Upwork or Fiverr, and it remains simple. It remains clear. You know what numbers you're tracking. That's how you grow. Right, so hopefully everybody follows that. Notice the person is asking for CBC. I will reach out to you either after this live or tomorrow morning. One of my team will pick it up and send you the link to the Confirmed by Chat script. So what else do I want to talk about? Let's move things along. The mindset to keep winning. The mindset to keep winning. How could I answer this very succinct and simple for you? If you have a vision for where you want to be in your life and your business, you have to work on seeing that vision daily so that the vision becomes bigger and stronger and more prominent than the fears that you have around failing and not living up to who you see yourself to be, your potential. Yeah. That's the mindset to keep winning, because guaranteed you're going to hit failures, guaranteed you're going to hit difficult times, guaranteed there's going to be points where it's nothing to do with the results of what's going around you. It's inside, it's internal. It's the psychological game with yourself. It's overcoming your ego. Yeah. So the mindset to keep on winning is to keep on focusing on the vision. It's almost like affirmations. And before I go any further, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in affirmations or not. What I want to show you or just share with you from a psychological point of view is that affirmations are about reprogramming the brain. Yeah. So, there's this saying that, where your attention goes where your attention goes, energy flows. And the point that I want to get to is that affirmations are how you rewire your brain so that you focus more, so that your attention and your energy can go into the right things. So rather than going into fears and not winning, it goes into vision and where you are winning, because usually the vision is way bigger than where you are right now. So that's the quick way that I want to share with you guys. And hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, more than happy to break it down. I want to ask you before I go on to the next points, I've got some more bullets I'm going to throw up on the screen. What question do you want to ask me right now that will change your business if you can ask me? I want to challenge you guys watching right now to ask me a $10,000 question. What question can you ask me that I can answer you to help you bank $10,000 or more? Yeah. Ask me the question. I will answer it in this live stream. No kidding. Somebody shared that with me not long ago. One of my coaches, sorry. And it kind of just made me think, like, why aren't I asking $10,000 questions? Because I asked them of myself, but why not ask it from a person who has done those kind of results? I've done those kind of results multiple times, guys. So if you want to use this opportunity, this live stream, I'm telling you right now, what's your $10,000 question you want to ask me right now to help you make that happen? Ask it by commenting below this video. Let's move on to the next point that I've got. So how do you remove money blocks? This is another common thing that I see. And look, if you are sat there right now and I just said to you, guys, I want you to ask me a $10,000 question so I can help you make that happen or help you realize that in your business by giving you an answer now, you might even have a money block to say, I can't even think of a question that's worth $10,000, right? Or it might be, Leon, how can I take my business to $10,000 by, targeting this particular niche with this particular offer? Maybe that's the question. But anyway, the point is, I just want you to raise your awareness to, are you even asking the right questions of yourself or the people around you? Yeah, because that's a big one. But this one, how to remove money blocks. Now, for me, this is big because a lot of the people that I coach and a lot of the people I come across, it's unconscious to them. They don't even see it. They see the vision, but they don't see the parts of them in their personality, their ego, that actually holds them back. It blocks them from where they want to be. Guys, if you're enjoying this, I'd love for you to share this video. Yeah, I'd love for you to go to the bottom of this video where it says like, comment and share, and just share it wherever you are. If you can share, if you're watching it in our group, in our business and life coaches group, then you can't share it because it's a private group, and I get that. But if you're watching me on my personal profile, on my pages, on LinkedIn, I think we're actually on Twitter as well. I've been using Twitter a lot more lately, not marketing, just using it for communication and a few other bits and bobs. But we're out there. But if you can share this, I'd really appreciate it, guys. But let me move on. Money blocks. Money blocks are things like this. I'm going to share it through a story, actually. So when I was younger, for most of you who don't really know me, but you kind of know me, you don't know me that well. When I was younger, so I was raised mostly by my father's parents, my grandparents, and I'm mixed race. So my grandparents are from Jamaica originally. I know you're probably thinking, how the hell is that true? But it's true, honestly, guys. I just had light brown skin grandparents. Anyway, it's another story for another day. But here's the thing. I was raised with these kind of more traditional values of grandparents. Yeah. So my parents were quite young when they had me, like 19 and 20. And so mostly my grandparents had a big influence because I kind of lived more around with my dad's family. Yeah. But there was this one thing, there was many, but there was this one particular type of way to live that was shared with me. And that was don't ask for stuff, wait until you're offered. Right. So it was kind of a way to be polite and a way to respect your elders without being a young kid who just asked for everything. But it was something that was kind of drilled into me, my cousins, and, my family at the time. But anyway, as a business owner, you can imagine when you use that kind of terminology, don't ask, wait until you're offered, it can have a really disastrous effect on you. So one particular example could be, let's say you invoice people, they don't pay you, and you think, you know what, I won't ask, I'll wait until they get back to me and offer the money. Yeah. So anyway, that happened to me. And it was only at the point where I was with my first business coach, and we were kind of breaking down things. Why aren't people paying you? Are you chasing it up? Why are you not chasing it up? What's going on there? And we kind of got to this conclusion. And I realized that, oh shit, it was because of this kind of programming from a young age. But anyway, that's an example of a money block. And I needed somebody else to kind of point it out to me, shine a light on it so that I could see it for myself, because I couldn't see it for myself. So that's one example, guys. We all have different types of money blocks. We all have different types of things that hold us back unconsciously, and we don't even know it. So here's the thing that I want to get to. How do you remove money blocks? If you are envious of other people who are doing, really well, that's a sign that there's some kind of blockage there. Because why would you be envious of someone being successful if they deliver value with integrity and all the other things around business? Yeah. There may be other money blocks where if somebody wants to work with you and you kind of feel like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do it or if I'm worthy. Yeah, it's another sign that perhaps you got money blocks. The other one might be that, certain opportunities come to you and you kind of shy away from them, or you kind of rubbish them, or you think, again, I'm not worthy, or it's about your self-worth, or I'm not confident enough to even ask for that type of money. For instance, if you want to sell, like a $3,000 or a $5,000 or a $10,000 pounds or euros coaching program, or even 20,000 or 50,000, you're like, how the hell could I even ask for that? Who would have that kind of money? It's a money block, because you're thinking, who could have that kind of money? And actually loads of people have that kind of money. No, they do, because I've sold, those types of packages. But the point I want to get to is, if you're not seeing these things as well, yeah, how can you remove them? And again, you need help. And the best way to get help is to ask people who have either been through what you're trying to get help with, understand what you are trying to fix, or they've been able to do it for themselves, right? They've either helped people or they've helped themselves. And so for me, the way that you create success in your business is, it's not all external. It isn't all like, oh, I need the right marketing, I need the right connections, I need the right audience. Quite a lot of this is the mental game of being the business owner. So if you're a coach or consultant right now, the way that you tackle these things is not kind of like you just fixing your business. You need to fix and evolve yourself as you go along. That's how you win. Yeah. And I wanted to share that with you because there's, I shared one book with you a moment ago. It's called The Gap and the Gain. And the reason why I mentioned the book and why I want to go back to it now. So I'm just going to show you on screen. It's that book there. I'm listening on Audible. Probably about a third of the way through the book. And so the thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that, if you want to create more leads, you want to attract more customers, a lot of the times, like you can remedy those things with kind of the more logical systems and marketing and tactics and strategy type of things. But if things start to break down, or you start to break down, you need to make sure that you're also evolving you. Yeah. And the book, The Gap and the Gain, it's a really simple concept, and I like it what I'm hearing so far. Trust me, I've got lots of books that will help you when it comes to the mental game. You can look at things like Atomic Habits by James Clear, really great book about focus and habits and how to break bad habits and how to encourage new great habits. But the gap and the gain is most of us are in the gap because we're always aspiring like, oh, I want that 7-figure business. I want that multi 6-figure business. I want that 8-figure, 9-figure, 10-figure business, and we always focus on the result that's far away instead of focusing on the gain. How far have I come? Look how closer I am to getting that happen, or making that happen, because of all of the successes I've had along the journey, the incremental successes, the incremental evolutions, changes, the way that you've become better. Yeah. So the point of the book is, and I guess I want to share with you, is you've got to be in the gain, guys, because when you're in the gain, you'll focus on being, at peace and at joy with yourself, and like appreciating what it is that you've done, hungry to go to that next level. But you move yourself into an energy of joy. Yeah. And, I see a lot of times, entrepreneurs who are just filled with tension, and it riddles their health. Yeah, mentally, physically. And once your health goes, if you're the key business person in your company, right? And if you operate like a small business, could be up to like 15 employees type of thing, or even freelancers or whatever. If your head's not in the game and you're not driving and leading that company, it can be a disaster, it can be disastrous. Just coming to a comment, how can you get the balls to follow up on quotes after you've been out to them? Because I worry when I get told by the office to follow up. That's a great one, Carl. Thank you. When you just got to that, that's a great question, and there's a couple of things I want to unpack about that as well, Carl. So the first thing is, let's say you're in this model where you're providing quotes for the services or the products or whatever it is that you're offering, and then you don't follow up. I.e., you give them a quote, you don't follow up, they don't call back, and before you know it, 3 days has gone by, 7 days has gone by, too many days has gone by. Yeah. How do you kind of follow up? How do you build up the courage, or how do you have the balls to follow up? Very simple. You break it down like this, and this is just one approach, and I've used different ones. You follow up nonetheless, because sales is a follow-up game, whether you have done it spot on or whether you've taken too long. You simply say, hey, it's blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use your name, Carl, because you asked the question. Hey, it's Carl from blah, blah, blah company. And we sent you a quote out, and let's just say I sent it out to you 2 weeks ago, and we didn't hear back from you. But you know what? I want to apologize, and I'm going to tell you where I'm getting this from, because this is really cool. This comes from How to Win Friends and Influence People. You always put yourself to blame. Yeah. And we sent you the quote out 2 weeks ago, but there was a big mix-up. But I'm calling because I had a couple of people in your situation that when we followed up, they were waiting to hear from us. And so I'm calling just to follow up, to see where you got with your project, or where you got with the thing that I sent you the quote for. Did you move forward with anybody else, or were you actually waiting for me to speak to you so you could move forward with us? And like, you kind of changed the dynamics of it being like, oh shit, I made a big mistake, or I did something wrong, to you move into humor, and you're putting yourself to blame, like it was you should have followed up. And here's the outcome of what can happen. The person might say, oh yeah, you didn't follow up, and they might not be happy. Great, that's fine, move on. Or the person might say, oh yeah, I was actually waiting for you, we were thinking about this, and blah 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 blah, and we would like to explore more about your quote. Or it might be, you know what, we didn't make any decision because we kind of got stuck and we weren't sure what to do, because we got a couple of quotes and we just weren't sure. But now that you're on the phone, I think it would be actually cool, and perhaps we could talk more about your quote. So the point I want to get to is that, sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Money blocks, fear blocks, the mindset to winning. A lot of this is because we don't seek, like, well, how else could that be handled, or who could I ask to give me the input or the insight into how to handle that situation? I think that's a great question, by the way, Carl, so thanks for asking it. Hopefully that's made sense to everybody else. If it has, give me a thumbs up. But the point I want to get to is, We do need outside help, guys. And look, I want to say once more, if you're a culture consultant right now, you want to attract more qualified leads into your business, remember, we've got a 5-day challenge running. Go to this link that you see on the screen, I'm pointing down to moreleads.live. Go there, register, get yourself a ticket. It starts on the 17th of Jan. Let me move on to another point of what I want to talk about, being a success generating leads, how to align yourself to your vision and your purpose. This is a big one for this is a big one for like every business owner, to be fair. Aligning yourself to your vision and your purpose is an action of daily activity, thinking about it, making sure that you're on point, that you are on purpose. How do you see your vision? The easiest place to start, and not to get too kind of spiritual on this topic, because I can, but not to get to, is if you have an idea, if you have a vision, you can see the possibilities of where you could take your business, how big it could be, or what it could be, the amazing things that it could do. Like that's the very first place to start with vision. And then what you do is you put yourself, it's like you're just playing make-up imagination. You think about the business that you want to create. Let's say it's like 5 years from now, just to keep it not too far away. And then you start exploring, when you have that kind of business, what kind of things could you do as a result of that business? Like, what can you do with you? What can you do with your family? What could you do in the community? What could you do with perhaps some material possessions? And what you start doing is building, you're almost like painting a picture of the different things around your life because of that business. Yeah. And what I find is that, you know, aligning yourself to your vision and your purpose, well, the vision part's quite easy because, you know, most of us, like, we see it. But here's the thing that most people don't understand. The more you work on your vision, i.e. the more you head towards your vision by attaining goals, by setting goals, failing at achieving goals, and then going after them again, and, you know, then making it happen, is your vision actually evolves the more you get closer to it, because it's actually a moving line. Yeah, your vision evolves as you evolve. Yeah, and your vision can only evolve to the level of your consciousness, believe it or not. And aligning yourself to your purpose is kind of goes hand in hand, because your purpose really on a day-to-day is your business is there for you to help one person today, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. And in that service, in the service of you to your customers, is where you find purpose. You find it in your work. You find it in the challenges that you face. You find it in the passion that you have. Yeah, aka love. And part of this comes from, how do I know this? I know this through personal experience. I know this through the reading, that has given me kind of understanding of some of the things that I'm kind of like, I have this feeling, but I'm not quite sure where to put my finger on it, or can I hit the nail on the head? And a lot of this stuff, it comes as a result of educating myself, doing personal development on myself. And this is how I can share this with you. So for me, if you can paint a picture of the vision, live it, breathe it, eat it, good, bad, daily. And as you evolve, as you get better, as you achieve things, the vision will grow. You'll naturally, your brain, your capacity will allow it to expand more into what it could be. The next step from there is simply just to live up to your purpose and keep serving, and your purpose will evolve day by day. So that's how you align yourself. When you're out of alignment, you're not serving, and you're not building something that you see for the future. Yeah, you might think, oh, I'm building for the now, and start bullshitting yourself and think, oh, that's what it's about. But like, seriously, when you live that, you kind of like, you don't need an alarm clock type of thing. I used to think that was bullshit, because I used to rely on an alarm clock quite a lot. And the more I lock into, you know, who I am now, it's kind of like, I'm like clockwork in terms of my body clock starts to wake me up. And various different things that, like, I start seeing about, like, how I operate and the things that I do, from, you know, going to the gym, doing jujitsu, how I am with my children, who I want to be as a father, who I want to be as a husband, and all these different aspects of who I am. And it's like, that's how I align myself, because my vision, I paint it with the life I want to create, and my business is simply just a cash flow vehicle to allow different parts of that to happen. But it doesn't allow everything to happen, because a lot of the other stuff happens because I show up. Yeah, And that's what you've got to do. You've got to show up as well. So moving on, guys, is this making sense? I'm talking about how to generate leads, but I'm going beyond just the normal bullshit, Facebook ads, social media engagement, all that shit. I'm just throwing it all in. If there's anything you want me to ask right now, ask me your $10,000 question and I will answer it to help you unlock another $10,000 right now. And I say that again, if you've only just jumped on, I asked that earlier, because if you're not asking those types of questions, that means you don't want those types of results, right? And when somebody shared that with me not long ago, it made me think, it's like, shit, I need more of those $10,000 questions, because I got to ask my coach, I got to ask my mentors. Like, that's what you need to be doing, guys. I was sat down with one of my other clients the other day. What day was it? Tuesday. And we were just discussing plans for 2022. He's grown his business amazingly over the past 7 years that we've been working together. And he was just like, oh yeah, Leon, in a couple of months, I'm going to be able to pull £400,000, which is like $500,000 back out of, some properties. And then I'll be able to sit on that to get ready to invest in the next thing that we're going to do. I'm like, wow. Because I remember 7 years ago, he wasn't even close to anything like that. And for me, it all comes from the vision that he has. It comes from the purpose that he rides. It comes from the way he shows up with his family and different things like that. And for me, like, that's what it's about, guys. Like, if we can build a business that goes beyond who we are right now, and it goes to the point of what we could be, it's simply there for us to step into that space, right? How to take care of yourself physically to win in business. I just want to touch on this briefly, guys, not spend too long, because you might be thinking, how can physical health or anything like that, affect how you show up? It's very simple, guys. Like, if you're not performing well, your health is not, where it needs to be, you've got to understand that actually your health's the number one thing, both mentally and physically. And in order to perform at an optimum rate, to show up and lead your team, to lead your business, to lead your clients, you've got to take physical and mental health seriously. Over the past 3 years, look, and what I'm about to share with you is just my journey. I'm not suggesting you follow what I say. I'm just sharing from my own personal, Leon's 41 years on this planet. I'll be 42 in February. Just my own experiences, guys, that, I've always enjoyed sports and going to the gym and being part of like team sports. It's kind of like what makes me and what I find enjoyment, right? More recently, still go to the gym. I took up jiu-jitsu about 16 months ago, and I did it because I was taking my son there, and as he got bigger, and he's like 14, nearly 15, he's about the same height as me now, or getting there. He started in the adults class of jiu-jitsu, and I thought, what, I'm not going to just sit here waiting anymore. I'm going to join in with him, and it's been a great experience, by the way. I'll be able to go for my blue belt around about March. I'm nearly there now. For those of you who understand and know jiu-jitsu, it's not one of those martial arts where you can get like 2 belts in a year just by showing up. This one's like, it's based on time, and you have to put the time in. It's like business. Yeah, you make incremental improvements and you get to where you want to be. And it's another teacher of persistence, and character. But the point I want to get to is that sometimes I get it wrong with recovery. Sometimes I get it wrong with what I eat. But I've made adjustments. I've made changes. Like in the past 4 months, I've gone vegetarian. Yeah. So like I said, I'm not telling any of you to do this right now. This is for me because I know what's good for Leon. I've eaten meat like pretty much most of my life. But what I did, I transitioned from meat to fish over the past 3 years. And then in the past 4 months, I've just gone just full vegetarian. And like, guys, for those of you guys and girls who are watching right now, you're thinking, how is that even possible? I used to think like that. But anyway, I made a conscious choice of where I want to be and what I want to put in my body to be physically in the best shape that I can be, and in terms of what I eat, and also mentally. Yeah, I want to know that I can go without meat and still exist and live. And look, I've done it for 4 months now, and even that to myself is like, wow. Yeah, because there was a time where I think, I needed to have meat at least once a day. But anyway, the point I'm getting to is that when I take care of myself, I know that I feel energized. I know I can go another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it is. I know I can add that extra, thing I need to do in order to just take things in my life and my business to the next level. And what I want to share, guys, is that if you're not doing those types of things to inspire you, to inspire your family, to make changes in order to be your best in business, yeah, you're underselling the potential of who you are. Yeah. So what I'm saying is take care of your physical health, take care of your mental health, like, do meditations. If you pray, if you believe in, a particular religion, like speak to God, like do these things to make sure you check up on yourself. Yeah. Because quite often we think we're just going to be here forever, and we're not. Like, there's many instances where people haven't checked upon themselves, and they're in a business that's underperforming, and they're just putting themselves through stress, through anxiety, through pressure, through sadness, and they haven't stopped, and they haven't been able to stop because they don't know how to stop, and they haven't, really took their foot off the accelerator, and they've just gone bang into a brick wall. And in most cases, it's ended in a really difficult situation. So what I'm saying to you guys is that if you do want to generate more leads, you want to grow your business, don't forget to look after yourself as part of that process, because too many people don't. I think it's like, oh yeah, let's go and earn this much a month or that much a month, and they just forget themselves in the process. And I'm just saying that, guys, if you include yourself, that's how you create the big successful businesses. So moving on, guys, more leads. I've got a couple more. I'm just going to flash them up on screen. Here we are. How to attract high-paying clients. Start asking for high-paying clients. Somebody sent me that as a message. Like, Leon, I want to attract high-paying clients. Great. Start asking for high-paying clients. Start putting out a marketing message that speaks to a high-paying client, not a cheap client who wants freebies, or what a cheap client who wants, something cheap. And in your message, you're speaking about cheap, and it's like you're attracting cheap people. It's all to do with understanding your niche. Yeah. I remember one client I had. He was a kitchen fitter. Yeah. So more of a bricks and mortar business. And it was really cool, actually. And I remember at the time, he's like, Leon, I keep attracting these people who want discounts. He was selling like these kitchens for like £2,000 to £5,000. So it's kind of like what's that? $3,000 to like $7,500. I'm just, for those of you in America watching this as well. So anyway, I said, great. So what we've got to do is focus on your niche and start focusing the messaging on the kind of person who will pay you what you want. And what he wanted was a 20 to 25K clients. So he sells that type of kitchen. So anyway, we refocused on the niche, and that's what he started charging. 4 to 5 months later, he starts banking £130,000. So the point I'm getting to is that if you want to attract high-paying clients, speak to high-paying clients, put marketing messages out to high-paying clients, and charge what high-paying clients need to pay you. Yeah, there's obviously a few steps in there, but if you can follow those few things, you'll at least attract the people who want to start having the conversations with you at that level. And for everybody, high paying is different. Some people, $3,000 is high paying. For other people, it's like, no, I want to attract $30,000 or pound clients. So it's entirely up to you guys. The other one, how to niche down and attract more. This is a really cool one, because it's a bit of a paradox. Most people think when they niche down that they limit their audience. Yeah. What they don't realize is that there's nearly 8 billion people on this planet. And they think when they niche down, they're going to like, oh, I'm going to have 5 clients that I can attract this year. Niching down is so powerful. And the reason being is that it focuses your message. Imagine if you focus on high paying clients, or the people who can pay you those high paying fees that you want to attract in. That's the whole point of niching. Niching doesn't mean that you have to limit yourself. It just means that you go super laser focused in one of 2 areas. It can be who they are. So, location, age, income bracket, or it can be what problem do they have, and you go super focused into that area. So one of the 2 areas, that's how you niche down. And if you start speaking to that kind of high paying client, when you niche down, it doesn't matter. And I say that because quite a lot of coaches think that, in order to have a 100K business, that they're going to have like 100 clients paying them $1,000. No, to have a 6-figure business, you might only have 10 clients paying you £10,000. Yeah. But you give them £10,000 worth of real value. Actually, you don't give them 10,000, you give them £50,000 worth of value. And that's why they pay you the 10. But the point I'm getting is that when you niche down, it's cool because it does allow you to grow. And then as you grow and then you hit 7 figures, that's your point where you can then straddle two niches, or introduce a new product to the same niche so that now you're selling two products or services, and then you do what you did with the first 1 million with the second service or product and bring that up to 1 million. Now you got 2 million. That's the key. If you want to look into that more, there's a great book called Ready, Fire, Aim. Love that book. And it speaks to you about how you scale your business. And it's something that I referenced in my own book, More Leads, More Clients. If you haven't got this book, go get it on Amazon. Get yourself a copy. But it's a really cool book to look into. And I think, guys, I do believe that's the last topic that I wanted to touch on today. So what I've got for you, next steps, guys, me and my wife, we're holding a challenge. This is a paid challenge. This isn't one of those freebie challenges that you turn up to or don't turn up to. This is a paid challenge, guys. You spend 5 days with us next week, 1 hour each day. Yeah, so not 5 full days. From the 17th to the 21st of January, next week from Monday, yeah, you can spend 1 hour or 2 hours. And I'll tell you what the difference is. 1 hour means you turn up for the challenge. If you want to spend 2 hours with us, you can spend 1 hour before the challenge to get coaching. Yeah. So we are selling and offering you 2 tickets. Usually for this type of content, we would charge the equivalent of $2,700. The general ticket starts at $97. It's a no-brainer. I'm only doing it. We're only doing the prizes because we just want to get rid of the tire kickers, the people who aren't really ready to take action and they can't get over their blocks just yet. They're not quite ready. So for those of you who are looking to scale, are looking to grow, you know, if you're at 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K, 30, 40, 50, and you want to really get some new life and ideas, new strategies, new universal laws into how you operate, this is the challenge for you. Just go to moreleads.live. You can see the link on the screen. And you opt in there, you'll see the full information. And I'm going to tell you, ignore the information, click and buy your ticket. I'm telling you, if you're already sold on what I've shared with you today, you're going to be blown away next Monday to Friday. Yep. So go there, go to the web address. You can see on my screen right now, get yourself a ticket. And as I said earlier, if you've got peers, so you know, coaches, consultants, or other business owners, and you think, actually, this would be really great for them. If you send them the link and they buy a ticket, I want you to ask them to email you their receipt and just send me a message, like a print screen of their receipt on Messenger or on LinkedIn or Instagram, whichever social media platform you use. And I will pay you 100% after costs, so about 95% actually, of their ticket. So virtually you'll get your ticket for free, right? And if you do more than that, you'll make yourself some money as well. So how about that? That's only available for the next 24 hours. So you'll need to get that message over to me within the next 24 hours. So by 10:30 tomorrow night, UK time. And that's it, guys. I want you to really look at this and consider this. Come and join us on the challenge. You're going to get all the answers that you need answered about generating leads. And we're going to throw in some really great things. You're going to get the social personal branding worksheet, the hot lead source worksheet, where to find your leads, 5 free hand raising templates, the no-brainer irresistible offer worksheet, how to create your offers, high ticket offers, and get people to buy it. The confirmed by chat script worksheet, an updated one for the challenge, and a super qualifier script, how to handle your sales calls and get more people to buy from you at high ticket. It's all available in the challenge. If you want to know the kind of results you'll get, here's some clients: £18,000, $13,000 day. Here's another client on £10,000 in 30 days, under 30 days. Here's that client that I mentioned to you. Look, here's Matt. He did his first sale, 3K. 4 months later, he did 100K. And actually, after 5 months, he took it to £130,000, so around about $160,000 or so. Denise, 10,100 in 7 days, so $14,000. Ashish, 15,300, $21,000 in 1 month. She's actually a real star performing client of mine right now. She's actually doing consistent multi 5-figure months. In the first 10 days of January, she already did £12,000 in sales. This is Raf, 116,000 sold in 2.5 months without support. This is Angie, filled a group coaching program, did £18,000 with a low ticket offer. This is Nate. This is one of my top end clients. He did $768,000 in 3 months and 1 week. Actually, after 6 months, he turned that into $1.47 million of high level coaching packages, $50,000 and $100,000 coaching programs. So if you want that kind of knowledge, guys, you want that kind of insight, join us on the challenge next week. You either invest 1 hour a day from the 17th to the 21st, or you invest 2 hours. The 2 hours gets you 1 hour of coaching and then the 1 hour of the challenge content. This isn't going to be your typical free challenge stuff, guys. We're going to share with you what you need. We're going to simplify things so that you can achieve the kind of numbers that I've shared with you, so long as you put the work in. Whether it means you work with us or you take that strategy, the plan away, and you go and implement it on your own or with your own mentor or coach. I don't mind. We're going to give you the answers. Yeah, it's all good. Go to moreleads.live. You can see the link there. You can probably just about see it on the TV screen here. I want you to join us. I want you to transform where you are in 2022. That's what this is all about, guys. And if you've enjoyed the content and the things that I've touched on today, that's what you're going to get on the challenge, more of the good stuff. So on that note, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Angel, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I see you keep popping up, and I appreciate you. Everybody else, much love, and I'll catch you on the next live. Take care. Bye-bye.